Hey guys, I'm super excited for today's video because today I'm interviewing our project manager, Carmen. Carmen is managing certain projects now for Easy Peasy Sourcing and is assisting our team with helping you source your products in China. Better said, helping us source your product in China. But today we also go over the whole overview in the interview on how you can find a reliable supplier yourself. We talk about the whole Chinese way of doing business, why sometimes you have issues communicating with Chinese suppliers. We talk about the whole sourcing process from start to finish, from getting affordable samples, finding the reliable supplier, getting quotations, getting your logo on the product, preparing FBA shipments, getting your product shipped, finding a forwarder. All of the stuff is covered in today's video. So make sure you watch the whole thing because there's so much knowledge in this video, in this interview. Carmen has been working as a freelancer and is still working as a freelancing sourcing agent, but now we also cooperate and she's handling a lot of projects, and actually I have to say that she's doing a lot better job than I'm doing as a project manager, so I'm very happy to have her being a part of the team. So let's buckle up and jump into today's interview. Now you're a freelancing sourcing agent, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about you, where you come from, what's your background?
I definitely Arab Asian.
Yeah.
So from China, of course, but I'm mostly in Shenzhen, based on Shenzhen. As everybody know, that Shenzhen is like a high-tech place with most of the electronics. Then also around the cities, they have the others like furnitures or wooden stuff and where like homewares. And then I really love this city, so that's why I stay here. And I have been to freight forwarders for 3-4 years. And then like during the time when I'm doing the freight forwarders, I have like a database of all the suppliers, and I have my direct customers from all over the world because I used to be the tour guide. And then the customers slowly start to ask me, besides the shipping, they would ask me like, Carmen, can you find me this? Can you find me that? Can you find me some products from China, not only for shipping? Can you find me and ship it to me? So slowly I start to source them the products, like whatever they need. And then I come up with the idea like, hey, why not try to start another business besides the shipping? Probably I can build out the bridge between the buyers in the other country and then the factories in China, and then make a bridge to make the communication better and to provide the whole service so the customer, they don't need to think too much. They trust me, they hand it to me. I find a supplier because I have the experience and I have the database for all the suppliers, and then I can just find them the products as to get them the better price, more trustful suppliers, and then send it to them like end to end, and then that's what I'm doing now.
Cool. I actually think it's cool how you went from like tourism, so you travel around and then you meet a lot of people, and then you go for the freight forwarding, and then you go the sourcing because you meet the people and they just ask you if you can source, right? It's actually the same way how I got into it. When I started, I was selling things on Amazon. And then because I was here in Shenzhen, people were asking me, it's like, hey, can you give me a sample? Can you, order something? And then I just, that's how I started. So we've been working together. I just really wanted to bring you on so that we can kind of share some of your little secrets and
Yeah, but like everything that made in China. That's why we come up with the idea.
Yeah. So who do you source for now? Like, what's your main customers? How do they look like? Is it more like the big, like Walmart or the big corporation, or is it drop shippers? Is it Amazon sellers? Who do you go for, and how does it usually work?
Well, mostly it will be like the Amazon sellers. That because they need like the OEM products. They need to like have like order from this supplier, that supplier, multiple suppliers, and then bundle the goods together and nice packaging. And this needs a lot of communication. So that's why they come to me, because between them, I can have the good communication with them. And then I also have the Chinese, like I speak Chinese with them, the manufacturing, and I have the experience. I have all the information of the suppliers that I can help them. So mostly will be the Amazon sellers. And I also open this FBA shipping, like it will be like DDP door to door for them, so they can save a lot of time and energy. And also, meanwhile, I have those customers that I just met during my job before, and they do like a purchasing from American, and for like the hotels or real estates for like toilets or bus stop and this kind of stuff. Also from Africa. Yeah, but mainly like Amazon sellers.
Cool. What would you say is like the biggest takeaway? Like, if why would people go with a sourcing agent? Why can't people just go on Alibaba and do their own thing? What do you think is the best use of a sourcing agent, or who should use a sourcing agent? Why would you do that anyway?
As I said before, to be honest, like as I understand, most of the sellers do have Alibaba, AliExpress. You can just order anything you want, and they're cheap, and then they provide the shipping as well. But why they come to me, as I hear, first of all, is the communication and the efficiency. Like they can have the better communication with me, and also I can reply fast. Because of the time difference, sometimes they cannot find the manufacturer. And then if like really the supplier, the manufacturer supplier, we don't mention about the trading company, or they can have better experience with me. Also, when I said about like sometimes they need to order the goods from different manufacturer, and they need to do OEM, or they want to put their own logo, their own products. Maybe they want to make exactly non-existing products, and they need to talk to me because I will understand better. I will be more patient than the manufacturer. Because you're in China for a long time. So manufacturers, sometimes they don't really care. Like, hey, give me the order. I produce. This is my products. And if you don't want, okay, fine. And if you just order like 100 pieces, 500 pieces, and you are foreigner, I don't care. Sometimes they maybe send you the different products. As many people experience.
Why do you think is that? Why do you think there's so many miscommunications, or why do you think there's so much, that the customer asks one thing and then the factory gives them the other? I think you told me the story the other day of like, I don't know, maybe you can say it was like the materials and that,
Yeah, I think the mentality different. Like personally, I would like to connect with the supplier that younger, like the boss is younger, because the generation is changing in China. And for like the older generation with the boss, they really don't care, because the manufacturing now in China, they still stay in the production way. They just produce. They don't care like, what you want it to be, nice packaging. They don't care. Normally you order from China, one big carton box, put everything inside, maybe an OPP bag if they are nice. They put the OPP bag for all the pieces inside. Okay, one carton, 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces, okay, I ship out. That's all, I finish. Done.
So it's very easy. If you have one given product and you say, okay, I want 1,000 of just this exact product, right? Then it's easy. If you want to change the product, if you want to do metal instead of plastic, then I feel like oftentimes they, like, not that they don't care, but they care too much, where they think like, oh no, rather do the better price. Why not use plastic? So I think that can cause a lot of things. I always tell the story when I go to the fish market with my girlfriend. So we go to the fish market, and I feel like a puppy a little bit. I have to walk so far behind her, because if I'm with her, the price is immediately higher, right? So that's kind of the thing in China. If you're Chinese, like even if I talk Chinese to them, they don't care. They see, it's a white guy, and then the
white guy, you're rich. You white guys are rich.
Yeah, right. So I feel like that's a little bit the mentality here. For people that never worked with Chinese factories, like what can you expect to work with them? How is the communication different? Because if for example, I order something in Germany, right? So I go to the supplier and I say, I want to order, this kind of case, but we need to have, the color needs to be different, and the zip, I don't know, needs to have a different quality. Maybe needs to have, the logo here on the thing, and that needs to be different. And then they would go and they would ask, they would be like, okay, to just confirm, you want the zip like this, right? The color, is that right for you? And then you say yes, and then they produce, and then it's done. How is that different in China?
Okay, first of all, if you really find someone, like they said, they represent the manufacturing, and they really like communicate very good English and whatever. Mostly, I cannot say 100%, but it can be trading company that they have the people to do that. And then the price also, it will not be that the manufacturer price you really want to. I'm sad to say that, but the communication and the language is there. We speak Chinese, and even you speak Chinese, but you look foreigner. And they know you're a foreigner, and that will be different. Maybe it's just the culture different on the mentality, and it's not only in China, I believe so. Maybe in the other country as well. And then that make it different. For what you said, like, You want these products to be this, it's a lot of communication. Even now, you tell me, okay, I mark down, okay, what you need, and then I know how to talk with the manufacturer. But when you go to the manufacturer, they will think that, hey, what produce is good. Why you need to put this?
Yeah.
Why you need to change this? We only make this. If you really want to, they give you a very high MOQ. Maybe like 10,000, 50,000.
Because they don't want to deal with that, right? They just want to make it and ship it off.
Because the machine, the daily production is this. And if you want to change it, they need to change. They need to start a new mode. They have many things. And then they calculate, okay, what kind of benefits or how many profit I can get from this order. And then it's not too much.
Yeah.
Why
and
I
not
need
too much
to do
is
this?
relative. Because I think a lot of, like when Amazon sellers start out, I think what is a lot of profit?
Yeah.
You know, if people make, you know, $100,000 a year or $1 million a year for a Chinese factory, that's really just pocket money, right? I mean, that's the salaries for a month or two, you know, like I think the communication issue is not so much about not understanding each other. I think it's more about not understanding the culture, right? Because when you communicate with factories, they also give you stupid answers. They also don't understand what you want, or they also send you samples that are like you order a green sample and they send you a red one. And say, okay, when you order, it's going to be fine. Just imagine it's the right thing.
But sometimes even me, between Chinese and Chinese, we also have this problem, you know, because you understand, like me, I understand the Western side, like what a customer needs, and I pass this information to the manufacturer. For example, like as I mentioned before, they send me the sample, and actually it's totally different with what I requested. And then they say, oh, you just imagine.
Yeah.
Look, this is not, I know you need the metal, but now we don't have metal in the hands. We use plastic instead. But imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be the same.
it will be similar. Oh, this is not black color. Yeah. When you order the big one, we will give you metal and black color.
Sure.
But now the sample we cannot because we don't have. But they don't understand the sample need to be exactly the one that you are going to order.
You don't get frustrated or hung up when they send you the wrong sample. You just give them a call and say it's wrong. And also it's so quick in China because how long does it take to get a sample? Like if you order a simple sample, how long?
Well, 1 to 2 days.
Yeah. Do you pay for the
maximum
samples?
3. Yeah, sure. Yeah. We need to pay for the sample and the domestic shipping, but it's cheaper. That's for example, like why the customer notify us, because if every time a sample sent far away take like half a month, arrive in USA or Europe, and the sample is not exactly what they need, and then they have no middle person like me, like a sourcing agent, they send to me and say, no, this is not the customer want. I return and they, hey, make a new one. Exactly like this. That's what the customer wants. And then finally, with me, I check everything. I make videos and pictures with the customer. Hey, this is your sample. What do you think? Do you want to adjust a little bit or modify a little bit? If no, you're satisfied, okay, I send you the sample.
I speak to people on the phone. As soon as people go and say, you know, I tried it, I did it, and I went through all the hassle, then it's easy. You know, it's like, okay, well, welcome as a customer. People are very smart then and say, okay, there's a no-brainer decision to go with a company like this. But when people just start out, they don't believe yet, you know.
Yeah, but you know, in China, the manufacturer, or I don't know, in the other countries, it's the same. Manufacturer, they have normally the fixed production line. So they have the machines and they have the technical guy to set up all the process, what to produce. So they prefer every day, every month, every year, it just keep production, no problem. Then they don't need to have too much to change packaging something, because first of all, the workers, they pay very low salary. So they are not really like training or like high education, go to the university or something, you know, they're just workers, and then they hear what they be told, and then they will produce. So if like a customer come out, I want these pieces and that piece and that pieces, and then pack into the nice packaging and put in a carton box, then for them it's like a difficult, like a problem. If you don't order a lot, or the boss of the company, they don't have this mindset. Now this is the customer need, and this will be the future. If they don't think about that, then probably it will be very difficult to organize. Yeah, that's why I like to work with those younger boss that have the mindset that, this is what the customer needs, like customized box everything. I have like recently I deal with some, and mostly it's like that, like you bundle different products together. I have a customer that they need like a party set, 16 pieces of everything.
Yeah.
It was really a mess. Like 16 pieces of paper cup, 16 pieces of the bigger plate, the small plates, and fork and knife and everything.
I've been there.
Oh yeah, like if you ask all the manufacturing, no, one package, 1,000 pieces, and then you make yourself.
So how do you deal with that when you have bundles? Like, let's say it's not 16 products. Let's say it's like you have 3 different pieces. How do you work with companies to put that together? How does that work?
Well, then it's a lot of communication. That first of all, I need to find the manufacturer that produce the products is first. I will find like multiple, not only one. And first of all, I will use the resource I have already. That because I work with them already, they trust me. They will not give me too much trouble. Like, hey, this is not. They trust me. I trust them. That if we work in China also, if you work one time, then everything will be easier to talk. If you never work with them, they don't really care. So I find multiple suppliers, and then I found the one that they are like willing to do these things. Like they understand why you need to do that, and not just, hey, I give you like one package of 100 pieces, and then you do it by yourself, you know. So some manufacturers, they can, but it's not too many. I think 20% of the factory, they will like do this, like, okay, you order with everything, with OPP bag, and then they count on like a few pieces and put in one bag and together. Of course, they charge.
Yeah, of course.
They charge, but not too much. At least they do it. But it's not too many.
So that's another reason why you would go with like a service to do it for you, and you wouldn't do that by yourself. Or do you?
No, sometimes we're doing in the warehouse.
Yes, you do it. But I mean, like for the customers in, if you're in Europe or if you're in the US, it's so difficult to bundle this all to communicate with so many different.
Oh yeah,
suppliers,
that's
right?
definitely different. Like for example, with the party set before, you need to find the one who produce the paper one, like paper cups, paper plate, and they need a balloon. So you need to find a balloon. The supplier, and then normally the balloons for the manufacturing, they don't produce one package like 10 pieces or 20 pieces. One package is like 100 pieces.
Yeah.
So, but you don't need 100 pieces of balloon in your party, right? You're not going to use it. So you need to like count different color, mix together, and put in one maybe like 20 pieces or 30 pieces of balloon. And this is like a lot of work. And I believe my customer, they will never do it by themselves. And besides the balloon, they need the table one, like the table cover. This is another material. It's a plastic. And the customer also need to customize print. So he have the design of the print. They need to print on the plate, need to print on the cup and on the table cover, fork and knife. And then finally a package.
Yeah.
When you order all the things, it's new. You have the idea, I want to make this product, but I don't know how big the box needs to be. So we need to do that. We need to talk with all the suppliers.
Right? That's so difficult.
Difficult.
If you don't have specific, it's 20 times 20 times 20. If you have
because none of the supplier they know.
Yeah.
This supplier produce this. They produce this. They produce this. So how to make everything together and to calculate how big the box it is. Because when the box is too big, it takes space. So shipping costs will be high.
Yeah.
You need to be exactly perfect size to save all the cost. And this is not easy.
So one project like this, how long does it take you from like someone comes to you and say, I want to have the party set, from party set to now we're ready to ship the order? What's the process like? How long does that take?
Well, the last time took like 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think 1 month is great. Because we have people from abroad that we had as customers that have one simple product. Like it's not a bundle, not anything, and it takes 3 months just to source it because you need to go through so many samples and so many headaches. So if it's like a set like this, it's crazy. People work on that 6 months, 7 months, 8 months just to get the product, and then in that time, the whole Amazon market space changes. Everything is different.
I think that's why my customer come to me.
Yeah. So I want to switch gears a little bit to the sourcing process, right? Yeah. So now that we got the mentality a little bit, I want to go through the whole sourcing process so people can like learn from the start to the finish. But before we go there, you were speaking all the time about manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
You don't like to go with trading companies.
No, why should I?
Yeah. So how can people find out? Is it a manufacturer? Is it a trading company? If I look on Alibaba, how do I know if that's a factory or if that's a trading company?
Well, that's difficult. For us, for me, because I read Chinese and then speak Chinese and I know China the map, we have like this wholesale website like we in China. And first of all, I will see the location where this place located. And if it's like office address, I was like, this is probably not manufacturing. And also based on all the years of the experience, I will know like in China, different products, they will come from different province. For example, like the heavy machine, they will go from the north, and the high-tech stuff like speakers or like phone parts or accessories will come from Shenzhen or Dongguan, like on the south. Or like the furniture, like on the north, they have all the like those provinces that produce the furniture, and on the south as well. So we know roundabout what is the products will come from which location. And also manufacturing, like the real manufacturing that if they don't do the shipping, like no, they don't do the trading, or they have this department for export. In China, not too many manufacturers, they really do export. And those factories, they don't have like a nice like catalogs to present their products, nice pictures, good for marketing or advertisement. They don't have. They just produce, maybe they put few pictures on like Alibaba or something like just putting on, or Taobao, like the Chinese website. So those are like, you need to make things for them to present the products. But trading company, they will make very nice presentation, PPT, PowerPoints, and then nice product pictures, catalogs, and with USD, Hong Kong bank account, something like that. So that one, I know it will be trading company. And then with them, I will not have too much like the price for like competitive price, because they already like need to have their profit. Then this is the way I found out.
Yeah, what I see a lot is like when you go on Alibaba or places like this, you have this exact same product, looks 100% the same, is the same, and you just have hundreds of sellers just selling the same thing, and just most of them are trading companies, and then there's one manufacturer that's actually the manufacturer, right? Or are there multiple manufacturers? Is it possible that like for the same exact product, you have multiple factories, or is it just one factories and the rest then is trading companies?
I think it should be like few manufacturers.
They just do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but because like manufacturers, like some of the manufacturers, they do export. They have the trading department for export. Of course, the price will not be, it will be different as domestic part, but they will have not too many, but as the trading company, because they have all the resource from all the manufacturer, or they just sign out the contract with the manufacturer directly, and then they can sell it better. But for sure, domestic for the price, it will be cheaper. It will be always cheaper.
Yeah.
And trading company, they also need to earn the profit. And then the price they sold out to the foreign company, it will be different. But why trading company play a very important side for foreigner? Because, as I said, they can present nicely. A catalog, nice product pictures and everything. Because that's what the Western or like the foreign customer, they need it. I need a nice packaging, nice picture, nice catalog. Like I can see directly than in USD, not RMB. So they need it. That's why the trading company existing, and they can work with them.
I feel like when people see the quotations from the manufacturer, and it's just like an Excel file, and they're like, "Oh, that's not even like that doesn't look legit to me. Like I want to go with someone else." But actually, it's just how it's presented, you know. So I think the shittier it looks, the more probably it's a factory.
Yeah, but some people, they don't want, because they need to waste time. Okay, I need to change RMB to USD or Euro. And then I don't really understand what does it mean. Like, do you know?
Yeah,
like,
there's no trust in it, right?
They don't. They have no idea. Like, what does this one look like? Because it's from the manufacturer. Because in China, for now, manufacturing is still 80% based on the production. Just production. They don't think about marketing. They just produce. They get an order from trading company, mostly trading company, and then all the domestic other retail shops or something. They just produce, and they're happy for that. They are not thinking about, what I need to do for the foreigners.
Yeah, I want to move to the whole sourcing process. So how does the whole sourcing process look like? Basically, from starting, how do you find a supplier? How do you order the samples? Then we're gonna go through placing the shipping, doing the quality control, and basically the whole process, so that people can basically see and learn basically from A to Z, how does the whole thing look like. So maybe we can start as suppliers. How do you make sure that you find a reliable supplier? Because that's the question I hear most of the time.
To start with this, I would like to say the difference between the trading company and the sourcing company. And the trading company normally, like, they trade for certain products. They stay in one zone. Like, for example, furniture, then they do furniture. But sourcing company, that we normally will be do according to the customer's request.
So what you and me make.
Yeah, like, and then that's why we go directly to the supplier. So we'll never go to the trading company. It doesn't make sense for us because then the profit margin for us or for the customer will also very low. So yeah, that's why we go to the supplier. And then why we go to the supplier and how it will be like, as I said before, when I was working in the freight forwarder company, I have all the database for the suppliers, and these suppliers are already selected by the customers. So it means that they will be fine for export no matter what, that they are already selected by the customers. So they will be reliable suppliers that they already ship with us for years. And then if I have the request from the customer and I know what they exactly need, and then I will go for the search from the database of the suppliers that I have, and then I probably will go multiple for the other resource I have. I will check, first of all, it will be the products. It's very important to be good for the product. It will be good quality. And then second of all, I will also check for the price. But prices doesn't mean all the time it's very important. Third is very important is the suppliers, the mentality. Normally, I like to go to get directly to the boss. I don't want to do with the sales because they cannot make decision. And if you ask them for more, can you adjust for this part, that part? Because sometimes the customer, they really need the OEM products, and it's complicated, and they don't want to do it. But boss, they will have this mentality that they want to have, they want to earn money. It's very important because sales, they get commission. But boss, they will see further. Okay, if this customer go with me, especially that the smaller, or medium manufacturing, not those huge one. The huge one, they don't
care.
Yes. So for the boss, the medium size or the small size of the manufacturer, he want to get a business. And he want to have foreign customers. It's make them feel I have this export.
International business, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Produce international products. So they have the mindset. So after selecting for my database and then the other resource together combined, I probably will select 4 or 5 out of 10. And then I will start to call them, talk to the boss, talk to them. And because between Chinese and Chinese, and I also I believe my feeling. I can hear the people when they talk, if they take it serious or not, if they care or not, if they will follow up and be fast reply or not. And through these calls, I probably can sell out around about 2 to 3 suppliers. And then I will go more details of the products. I'll go more details with the price. So
you don't start by giving them all the questions like the customer. So very first you have different, you make a list of everything that the customer wants, right? And when you go, what I always tell people is the price doesn't matter, because the buying price, that's not where your money is. The money is later, how much do you spend in marketing and all that kind of stuff. But people are so focused on, I want to get the best price possible. Right.
Did you have this experience you get very cheap price or
yeah, of course. And then the supplier's crap.
Yes, exactly. Or
they raise the price later.
I have a customer they said when they send people, because the time they get the supplier, they get the money, and then suddenly they don't produce. And after Chinese New Year, they produce other things. And hey, what is my money? And then supplier never reply. Come on, you are far away in Europe.
Yeah,
we
it
don't
doesn't
care.
matter. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I feel like the most important thing is, are they reliable? And you can get such a good feeling of just chatting with them. You know, like even if you don't speak Chinese, if I chat with multiple suppliers, I can see who actually wants to do business with me and who doesn't want to do business.
Yeah,
and,
it's very important.
You know, so the price is really secondary. It's true.
Yeah. You can go back all the time. You know, you set out the people first. First of all, you price and quality, and then you talk with the people. And when you after select the people, you come back to the quality and the price, because you know that they want to do business with you. You call them. It's very important. You call them, then they say, oh, they are serious. And you talk, you tell them what we plan to do, the future. We are not only order the first order. If you do good, we will have multiple in the future, no matter it's true or not, you know. But you will tell them like this, they will know that, oh, I have more business to run. So then you go back for the quality and price, and then you will be more focused on these 2 points with these 2 to 3 suppliers until after all you make your final decision. And even one of the suppliers, like when your customer decided to order from supplier 1, and you still have the backup for supplier 2, supplier 3 in case supplier 1, like coronavirus or whatever, you know, maybe they cannot go on or whatever. You still have the supplier 2 for backup. And you already selected. So it's always good to have a backup.
Yeah. Why is it that you don't ask them all the questions when you start? Like you select all the questions from the customer, all the points for the product. Why is it that you don't shoot all of the questions first, but you call them, you make sure they're reliable, you speak about what product it is, and then you speak about more details? Why don't you just go and send them all the details?
I think I will just select some, because it doesn't, for them it's difficult. Like as I understand, if you give too much information, they will be confused. And then after confused, they will like, oh, it's too much work, especially for OEM. You know, manufacturer, they are not aimed to have OEM products. They mostly, like, as I said, just production line. Machines there, they produce every day, how many pieces they produce, how much they need to pay for the workers, how much they pay for the rent. That is it. Then when you have, like, hey, it's new, you need to do new logo, stickers, you know, the Amazon, you need to put these stickers, labels and everything. And the packaging, like for the plastic bag, you need to put this, like the token thing, like this label for the plastic bag. So all this one is first time for them. So it's a lot for them. If I tell them too much information, maybe they will lose the patient. Like, too much work, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
So you have you send some questions first, then you go and you have like 5, 6 suppliers, and then you narrow down and you see who is nice. And is that the moment where you order a sample? And do you order the sample then, like the simple sample with you know, just to see how it looks like, or do you then already go and say you want the sample with a logo and with packaging and with all of that? How do you do that?
This I talk normally with the customer. I will ask the customer, like, okay, now I wrote down for this supplier, and then would you like to arrange a sample? And then if they will say, then as a sample, if the sample they see, of course, you know that if the sample they already produce is cheaper, you just maybe need to pay with the cost for this product. But if you want to make a new one, for example, you need to have a new mold, logo, everything, like new things. You need to pay probably like 500.
Yeah, so you don't
USD.
ask multiple suppliers for the custom thing, right? You just go send me the simple thing, and then let's see, or you say, okay, this is a supplier I want to go with, and then you just do that with one, right?
What kind of sample you need? I ask the customer. This I let them decide.
Yeah, because I see that so much. Like how most people do is they go on Alibaba, and then they contact 10 factories, and they ask 10 factories for the sample with the logo and with the packaging and with everything, and then you know that doesn't work, and also it's very expensive. So people complain and say, well, the samples, they want to charge me $200 for example.
But when they receive it, they will find that like they are basically similar.
Yeah. Yeah. So
because
if you have the first step,
the same.
right? So if you have the first step of making sure they are reliable, they're fine, we can work with them, then you go to the next step of ordering samples. Cool. Then now let's say you have the sample, you like the quality, it looks good, you do you then work on packaging, and do you have the packaging from the factory, or do you have like a third-party supplier where you do the packaging?
I work with a few of the packaging company, and they're reliable. They mostly make my packaging. I don't let the manufacturer do the packaging. First of all, is to protect my customer, because they have OEM products, and if everything made by the manufacturer, even we signed up contract and everything, but I want to be safe for the customer. So if it's their own product, of course they don't want the manufacturer. They just produce by them and then they sell in Amazon.
Yeah.
It's very important for them. So normally I separate with the parts of the goods and the packaging, and then just send them the packaging, they pack, and then to ship, just in case. And also for the packaging supply, because I work long time, I know run about the price. And because the manufacturer themselves, they don't produce cotton box. They also need to find what they work together. So I would just ask for the size and everything and to my supplier and send the whole package, and they pack it. I think it's better than everything they do,
Yeah. I actually think it's smart just to do that for protection, because I get that question a lot too. Like, how do I make sure my supplier isn't selling my stuff? Because if they just go on Amazon and compete, and they can just undercut you with the price, right?
Their price is much better than yours.
So there's no way to do that. Cool. So you have we got the supplier, we got the packaging, we got the samples, everything looks good. How do we now place an order? How do you pay the supplier? Or is there something you need to do before you send money? And how does that work from now on? Like, how do you place the orders?
Normally we will sign if those manufacturers we worked a long time, we already went through all the process, and normally we sign a contract, and as everybody knows, 30% deposit, and before they ship out, then the full payment was all. This is the payment how we pay the supplier, because most of the supplier, they don't have an international bank account, and then they cannot. Because for banking it's very complicated, especially when you're a foreigner and then you send from the outside of China to China. It's a lot of work. So normally I would deal with the supplier, I pay them, and then the customer will pay to my Hong Kong account. It will be easier. And then normally for what we charge, it will be just a percentage of the service. That is it.
Yeah. Cool. What needs to be in that agreement? You say you sign a contract. What are points that are in this contract? What's important to put in there?
First of all, is for them to set out the price.
Yeah.
The price is very now after that the 30% we need to change a little bit because this get higher. This is not happen. Normally it will not happen. But first of all, it's what kind of products we buy, how much we need to pay, and then what will you produce? Is it according to my request? Normally, I will list out all my requests, how logo, where, how big it is, print labels, and everything. And also, when goods can be ready.
What happens if the goods are not ready then?
Well, this is very tricky, because in China, to protect for the buyers, they have this credit letter. The credit letter is for the people, the manufacturer, to protect the buyers. So this letter to say, okay, you need to be done 1st of May. And the supplier, they didn't done on 1st of May, they need to pay a percentage of a fine. But as I know, I think 99.5% of the supplier, they don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's all the time they have different excuses. Because of this, because of that.
And now it's done. You want it or not. So you pay the price, or you pay we keep your price. So what are you going to do, right?
But normally I will tell the customer, for example, the manufacturer tell me, 10 days. And then I will think with this product, because I worked for this for years, so I know it run about the manufacturing time. So if they give me the time that not realistic, I would say, can you confirm? Can you sure? If they say sure, I will give another plus 5 days to the customer. I will tell them a little bit longer.
I think it comes down to really altering expectations again, to just know what's going to happen.
Put it a little bit more, just in case, give them the lower expectation. It's better always than the high expectation.
Yeah. Okay, now, so for the supplier payment, the customer sends the money to the Hong Kong account, and then you send the money to the manufacturer directly, right? And then there's 30% down payment, 70% net payment once the order is finished. Before the order is finished, how do you make sure that the products really look the way you wanted them to look? Like, how do you make sure everything is ready? Because once it's shipped, and if the box arrives, if the container arrives at your doorstep, if you're in Europe and you look at it and it's not right, then you have a problem. Right? So how do you make sure that doesn't happen?
At these points, I will normally ask the customer, would you like to have like a product inspection? Because we also cooperate with the product inspection company. So if they want, we can also arrange this kind of inspection company to go inspection and have a full set of report and everything. If no, then like some customer, like they start with very small volume, and then they are very budget. They don't want to spend too much because of the inspection company. They also charge.
Yeah.
Normally
How
we
much is that?
258 is like a transparent market. 258 for the full set for products for 1 day of service.
And what do they do for that?
They will go to the place and then they will check, take some pictures, and then they use this kind of a standard to pull out the samples, like percentage of the samples, and then to check each sample if it's good, take the pictures, and then after that they can produce the whole full set of English reports.
Yeah.
And like take a whole day. So this is what they do. Normally, like when the customers are very budget, they don't want to spend too much. But for me, I think it's also my responsibility to make sure everything's okay. But first of all, like those suppliers, they work with me. We trust each other. Like, yeah, sometimes business based on trust. But before they ship, I will ask videos and pictures, show me first the products. Let me make sure the packaging is right. Even during they pack the first one, like sometimes you need to put the sticker on, how you pack two package together.
Yeah.
I said, each step, send me the picture, I confirm with you. That's why I back to the beginning, that how I choose the supplier. I need to call them to see they're willing to work with me or not. They're willing to cooperate with me or not. Then we come back to this point because it's a lot of work for them. It's annoying for them.
Yeah.
Because you say, you need to put one piece of this, one piece of that, one piece of that, and put it in the OPP bag and sew it in this way, a certain way, and then put the sticker on a certain place.
Yeah.
For them, it's like exhausting.
Yeah.
I can understand.
They don't want to deal with that. Huh?
Yeah, that's why I need to talk with the people.
Yeah.
I have to say, like sometimes, like when I have a customer, like for this part, for the inspection, it's very important. It's true, especially before Chinese New Year. I have very bad experience every year before Chinese New Year.
Yeah, why is that? I mean, I know, but why is that?
Because like Chinese New Year, all the workers, they already like before Chinese New Year, all the manufacturers, they're super busy because all the customer want it to be done before Chinese New Year, and the workers will finish because Chinese New Year lasts for like 1 month. All the workers go hometown with the family, and all the customer, they want it before Chinese New Year and can ship. Then this 1 month, even no workers, but the goods is on the way. It's very important key time before Chinese New Year. And another point is, some manufacturing, before Chinese New Year, they produce keyboards. After Chinese New Year, they change. We have a adjustment. This time we don't produce keyboard. We produce lamps. It's very normal. Or we move the location, whatever. Or we produce mask. You know, it's very normal for them. So before Chinese New Year is very, very important part because they're super busy. So it will happen. They hire people from the village, like some
people that don't know anything.
Yeah, they don't know anything, and they just put it there. Okay, you work like this. They don't train. Yeah. They just tell them, hey, you do this. One time, I have an order before Chinese New Year. The boss is very good. He's a very good guy. So he said 1,000 pieces of the bag, and we have some tape that we need to tape the rope after ship and everything arriving Amazon warehouse, and the tape and everything like with yellow tape. colorful tape. Normally it's a transparent one,
Yeah.
but it's a different tape, and then it's totally a mess. I feel so sorry because at that time they already sent few already. They sent already, like, it's not the first time for cooperation. Doing very good.
Yeah.
The workers are professional, they're packing nicely, but just before Chinese New Year, everything different.
Yeah, so you have to double control. You really need quality control when you.
But even like I trust the boss, it doesn't help. The good thing is when I come back to the boss, I call him very upset. You upset my customer upset, I upset.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, then we offer 500 pieces for free. But this is a good thing.
That is the next really.
This is a very good thing. Yeah. But if you're a foreigner, maybe you don't get this cheating.
Right. That's another thing.
You are far away.
People should never source their own products. They should always have some. But for these situations, because if you are not in China and you don't speak Chinese and you don't have this relationship, there's no way you can do things like that. Unless you already work with the factory for a long time, you already place much orders, and they still want to have your money.
Exactly. They still want the business to run on. They know you are the old customer.
Yeah.
So they would rather to give you another 500 pieces for free and keep the business run, and not like, oh, I'm finished. Bye bye.
Right.
So this is a very important part.
Yeah. Let's talk about the one thing that I think you're the expert in, and that is shipping. So when do you ask for the shipping quote? When do you know how much to pay for shipping? How much is it usually? Maybe you can just give us a whole overview on when do you look out for a forwarder? How do you find a forwarder? All of that kind of stuff.
Well, I am a freight forwarder.
Yeah.
So for like a FBA shipment, for most of my customers, like we offer like DDP. That's mostly they use because they.
Can you explain DDP?
Yeah, delivery duty pay.
Yeah.
So it will be like from our warehouse, no matter from Shenzhen or Shanghai or Ningbo, it will be directly to Amazon warehouse. The customer don't need to go to custom clearance or pay the tax. This all very complicated thing. We offer like a price for per kilo, and then directly to Amazon warehouse. If like the US to US warehouse, mostly we do like US for air. So actually the way is like air cargo from China to USA, and then after custom clearance and pay the tax, UPS or FedEx, they will pick up and deliver it directly to the Amazon warehouse. And this total lead time will be like 5 to 8 working days. Because it's like cargo and then the express like DHL or FedEx, UPS. Meanwhile, for the sea, it will be around about 20 to 25 working days. Also by the boat to LA, it's around about 15 days, and then after arriving in LA, custom clearance and pay the tax, UPS and FedEx pick up and delivery to Amazon house. And the price will be different. We have 3 price range with the West of American, Middle of American, and the East of American. Yeah. So it's like, because American is very wide, so for the delivery cost it will be like slightly different. And
but maybe you can give us a range also for Europe. Like what would be the normal range? Now are very crazy times, right? But what is the normal range? What do you normally pay per kilo for sea shipping and for air shipping? What are the normal ranges to US and to Europe?
Well, for shipping also very difficult to talk about that, because for the products it's different. If you use battery, you have Tessillian, you have Bluetooth, you have magnetic. It's all will be different because it's DDP, delivery duty pay, means you need to pay tax as well. So the price will also include it with tax. For more than 100 kilo, more than 1,000 kilo, the price range will be different. Let me say, if you really want to have the price for that, it can be between, let's say, like 1,000 kilo. Okay, 1,000 kilo, it will be between like 1.5 to 2.2, run about like that. But it depends on the
sea or air?
Sea per kilo, and it's included with custom clearance in China and the destination country and tax. For the air, now it's crazy, Air now is like 15 for DDP, but
What's
normally?
the new,
Normally it's like around about 5-6 USD.
Why is it so expensive now?
I think it's like everybody. I think because we do exports as well. People ask me to source like a mask, protection suit, and also gloves, and what is this? Like the glasses and the cup, the head cup, and the shoes protection, everything for protection. First of all, Chinese custom get a very strict rules now, and everybody wants to do it fast. So first of all these mask or protection suit all sent by DHL, UPS from Hong Kong airport directly to Europe and American. They want it to be fast. The customer, it's to save life. So they want it like order today, tomorrow you need to be shipped.
Yeah.
But it's not possible if you're in China. You order today, maybe from the manufacturer, they need to prepare to pack. Maybe if they have the stock. If they don't have the stock, you need to wait maybe 3 or 1 week. After they prepare and pack, maybe they need 1 or 2 days. And ship to the shipping warehouse, maybe another 1 or 2 days, operation and everything. And then custom clearance, 1 or 2 days. And sent to Hong Kong, another 1 to 2 days.
Yeah.
And then from Hong Kong, then to there, maybe 3 to 5 days. So it's not possible, but customer, they don't understand the shipping. They said, I ordered today, you need to be arrived maximum 3 days.
Yeah.
This is what they understand.
But 3 days, it's
maximum.
It's a plane. It doesn't need 3 days. It just needs 12 hours to fly. So let's say 3 days.
Yeah. So from the beginning, everybody shipped fast, like DHL and to Hong Kong airport. And first week is okay. And then after this first week, all goods stuck in Hong Kong airport with DHL. And now DHL waiting day is like 7 to 10 days. You need to stock in the airport, and everybody know that. So they switch to FedEx or UPS. And now UPS also stuck.
Yeah.
So now the people will like use train, because now all Europe, they start to produce masks, or they already have like a start to produce, and then the people will choose the train because to save the cost.
Yeah, let's speak about the train real quick. Because most people don't even know that there's the option to ship by train.
Yeah.
So how long does it usually take to ship by train, and how are the costs compared to sea and air shipping?
Well, for the trains for Europe, Americans still sea and air, the train, and the train is normally to Europe, and to Europe the train will go to Germany, from Chengdu to Germany, and it will be 18 days from Chengdu to Germany, and we do custom clearance and pay the tax in Germany, and then UPS or FedEx still delivery. So this DDP shipment for FBA or like for the smaller cargo, it will be like always combined together, no matter is air cargo, sea cargo, or train cargo. Until the destination country, we will split with the DHL or FedEx or UPS delivery. We cooperate together, and then it will be fast to delivery. Actually, for Europe, they have another way. It's called European truck. It's a new way. It costs cheaper than air, more expensive than train, but faster than train. So it's like between the timeline between air and train. So they will like a European truck will be in the middle.
That's
so
cool. I'm learning something
roundabout
today. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like new one.
Yeah.
And actually, it's that the truck go from China to Russian. From Russian, they do custom clearance and everything because it's the entrance of Europe.
Yeah.
And then from Russian, then they will go to deliver to Italy or whatever.
Do they change the trucks though? Like they have the Chinese truck go to Russia, and then they put this on a Russian truck, and then they put it on. Does it work like this, or the Chinese truck just drives from China to Europe and back?
No, they
like,
need to change.
Yeah.
They need to change, and then the finally still pick up by UPS or FedEx from the warehouse and to distribute, because like for FBA shipment, we say FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. So this FBA shipment is mostly for the e-commerce sellers for FBA Amazon warehouse, or sometimes like the customer, they don't put all the goods to Amazon warehouse. They have another third-party warehouse, whatever.
Yeah.
So we also use the same line because it's not like the full container. It's just like few package, maybe 40, 50 like this. So they distribute. They go together and then they distribute by the UPS or FedEx.
Okay, so even if I would have if I would have only a quarter container, like a very small order quantity, could I still ship it by sea? Does it still make sense to say, okay, put it in a container?
Sure.
Or is it mandatory then that I say I have to put it?
Actually, for this shipping line, the minimum for sea is 100 kilo. It's not too high. And for air DDP, the minimum is 21 kg. So it's also not high. But just like if you ship 21 kg, it's just like the price will be more expensive than you ship more than 100 kilo. And actually, when you have a big quantity in heavy stuff like books, if you have books or like the notebooks or like heavy stuff, you don't want to send air. You don't want to send by sea by per kilo because if you count for per kilo, wow. Actually, there is another way for sea truck. Okay. So you can send sea, go to American or Europe. For example, let me say that American. For sea, take the boat, cargo in the container to American, and then the truck to pick up. But this way, they don't do include it with tax. They do include it with the custom clearance, the whole truck custom clearance, and go to the warehouse, and then to deliver it to door. But tax, the customer need to pay by themselves. And that is it. Yeah. And the truck will be like similar time set as the DDP by UPS or FedEx.
Cool. Do you think there's anything else that that you would like to tell people, or that you think is important, or that people should take care of that we didn't touch on today?
I think we talk about
pretty much covered it. Huh?
Yeah. But that's just like it's important thing is that I hope like the customer, they know what they really want, what they really need. I don't mind if the customer they go to look for supplier by themselves, because actually different people, they have the different thinking. But I think if just a simple stuff, maybe they would like to go with the supplier themselves. But I think for the communication, it will be tough for them. But as I know my experience, the customer, they will compare. They will go compare the supplier, and then they go with us. But mainly, if it's like OEM products, they really need a lot of work of packaging or something, they will go mostly for us. So for me, for my suggestion is like when you really know what you need, what you want, and your target price, and then we will always can find the better for you. Doesn't mean that we are not the supplier, then we are expensive. Yeah. Or we are not good. But if you think about like between us, we can get like a better price, better communication from the manufacturer. And actually from the customer side, it will be also save a lot of energy and time for them. Yeah,
I think people should never source their own products. Like you can go on Alibaba, you can do it, right? Obviously we earn money with it, right?
Yeah.
But like just it's a no-brainer. Look, you do it yourself. You spend $100 off the products, 100% of the product cost. So if you spend $5,000, that you spend $5,000. But if you go with someone like us who help you source, then we have fixed fees now, right? So it's a bit different. But if you go with hosting agents that has like a 5% commission, then that 5% it still saves you money, because the agent gets you a price that's 20% better. Yeah. So you save $1,000. So now you only need to pull $4, right? You pay $1,000 for our fee, and you're at $5. So you don't spend any more money. There's nothing you'll spend more. Plus you don't need to do the work. Plus you have the security, right? So for me, obviously, we do it for a living. So for me, it's a no-brainer to do that. But I think people, most people understand that, that's the way to go. Like,
yeah, when I started this company for like 2017, I hear like the people, when the customer come to me, like, oh God, thank God, like I can communicate with
yes.
you. I was like, what? It was like, yeah, now I can communicate with someone in China, because we try to search in Alibaba, or AliExpress, to talk with many suppliers by email. They reply slow, and then they don't understand what I need, because mostly they want their own products. They want to adjust a little bit for what is existing, and then the quantity is not too big as what the supplier they want.
So the supplier doesn't care.
They don't care. Yeah. That's why they say, oh, it's so difficult for them. So that's why they come to me.
Yeah, that's why we're in business. Cool. I thank you very much for your time. It was great. I'm still very happy that we worked together. And if you guys want to work with the both of us, then just head over to the description. There's a link where you can just book a call with me. I get on the phone with you, and then we speak about all the things that you need. I give you a little bit of an input, what you need for starting on Amazon, what's important for it. We can go over all the e-commerce stuff, and then we do another call where basically we go together and we speak about what are the product specifications, what do we need to take care of, and just know what's the product. And then we go to work. So if that's something that you want to do, there's a link in the description below. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, because we're going to have so many more videos regarding sourcing, but also regarding e-commerce, to teach you how to make an extra $1,000 a week, or really use the time quarantine now to jumpstart the business that you wanted to do for a long time anyway. So thank you for watching today, and I'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.